Hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I'd like to do a bison, or a bison head. There were at least 75 million of these that roamed the plains back like in the 1800s, and then by like the early 1900s, the white man had killed off all but 75 of the animals, and then there's like tens of thousands of them now, but it's quite impressive the way they brought them back when they were extinct. I will show you the types of clay that we can use. We use this oil-based clay, such as this, which never hardens. This is the one I always used to use as a kid, and I loved it because whenever I got bored with something, I just made something new with it. Another type of clay that you can do is this air hardening clay, which hardens like in a couple of hours or overnight. And what's great about this is that once it's dry, it's permanent and you can paint it. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the oven about 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes, and you can drill it, sand it, make a tremendous amount of detail. I'll show you the size balls of clay that we'll be using tonight. I'm going to be using this size ball right here for the actual head. For the horns, we'll be using these size balls of clay here. And then for the ears, we'll be using this size right here. And then for the nose, we'll be using this size ball right here. So the first thing that we want to do, as I'll show you, I'll pick up this head to show you, we want to make the shape of the head right here. See how that is? It's almost like triangular. We're going to work on making that at first. And I will show you how to do that. I'm going to take this piece of clay right here. And I like to take and squeeze it a little bit in my hands, make it a little more pliable. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make that point. Trying to get that point. And now what I like to do is just stretch it a little bit, just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the table, and we're going to push down on it to flatten it out. I'm going to take that, see, I'm just kind of pushing down on that, just like that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to compare it to my model that I previously made. It's approximately the same size. I'm just going to work it a little bit more. And just see, I'm just going to take my thumb, push down on that. I'll do it from this side, that way you can see it. Just like that. Because what you want to do is, see how that's nice and flat now on the bottom? That's what you want. So I'll just push this down again. Just like that. Want to just take another look at it. I'll push it down like that. So the shape that you want is this right here. See that? It's kind of rounded up here, and it looks like a triangle, a downward triangle. And the next thing that we want to do is we want to create texture. So I have this tin foil here, which can be bought in the supermarket or CVS or one of those places. You take and you crinkle up the tin foil, and what I want to do is I want to just go like this. Because the fur, this is the closest thing that I could find that would match the texture of the fur. It's like kind of like a woolly fur that, so we can go like that. And then I'll go and do the other side. See that? Just tap it like that. It's very quick. The next thing that I want to do is we want to make the mouth. So what I will show you on my model here, we're going to make the mouth and the nose. See that right there? I'm going to do that, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to take this ball of clay here, and I'm just going to kind of, see how I'm flattening it out a little bit? And then what we're going to do is we're going to place it right here, right about there. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of work it into the clay. See that? Working it in. See that? Just like that. And now what I want to do is I'm going to get a toothpick, and we're going to start to make the nostrils. So I'm going to take and go like this. See this? Put it in like that and kind of work it like back and forth like that. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just kind of work it like that. See how I'm just kind of going back and forth with that? Just like that. And then we also want to make the mouth. So the mouth will be right about here. See I'm doing that? And I'll show you. Just go around like this. I'll flip it over so you can get a good view. And I'm just going to work that a little bit. And then just going to work that. Look at that, make sure it looks okay. Then the next thing that I would like to do is I'd like to make the eyes. And I'll show you how we'll do that. See this right here? Those will be the eyes. And I'll use the same technique I've used in the past. What we're going to do is I'm going to take the tool, right about there. See I'm doing that? I'm going to scoop the eye out. And then I'm going to do the same. I want to make sure I have it in roughly the same spot. See that? So just take and do that. And I think we'll work a little more, make them a little bigger. See that I did that? And then, just like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the balls of clay that we scooped out. So I'm working at my finger, and we're going to put those back in. So I put that back in like that. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. See that? I'm going to take and place that in there. And now what I want to do is we're going to use the additive technique. I'm going to take some clay from over here, and I'm going to create like the eyelids. And we'll take a little piece of clay like this. And then what I want to do is, see I'm just kind of making that like that. I'll show you the shape. So see that? It's kind of small, but when I put it on, you'll be able to get a better view of it. Roll it a little bit. See how I put that on there? You just place it on there like that. And then you take, see I'm trying to take this and work it in now? Just like that. And we'll do the same for the other side. Get a piece of clay. And then, see how that is? And we'll try to do the same. I'm going to put that right there. See how I did that? And then we'll take, and just kind of work it in like that. Take your finger and kind of push it in like that. Just like that. Now we'll make the lower part of the eyelid. I just want to make sure that these are about the same. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is do the lower part of the eyelid. So I'll take a piece of clay like this. And now, see I'm placing this on the bottom? Well, sometimes it doesn't want to stick. So we got that. And now, see how that is? And we'll do the same on the other side. I took that piece of clay. And now we'll try to do the same for the other. See, I'll put that on there. And now what you can do, see I kind of work that in like that. Just like that, work it in. See those? Pretty cool, huh? And then what I also want to do is I want to take and use this toothpick, push that in like that, and create the eyeball. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. See that? And then we're going to take and rotate it. See that? Pretty cool. And the next step that I want to do is I want to take and make the ears. And I'll show you on the model here. These are the ears on the bison. What's interesting about the American bison, it's also referred to as the American buffalo also. We'll put this down. Now, we'll make the shape of the ears. So see how I'm flattening this out? We'll make this flat. But then, we want to round out the ears. So I'll show you, we'll go like this. That's the shape that you want. And we'll proceed to make the other one. So flatten that out with your fingers like that. See that? And then we'll round it out like we did the other one. And I'll make sure they're approximately the same size. See that? So now what I want to do is I want to take this ear now and place it right about here. See that? And then what I want to do also is I want to take and make sure that this clay go like that. See, I'm taking I want to make sure it's properly attached. And then we can take, see how I'm doing that? That way we'll make sure that it's properly attached. And we'll do the same thing for the other side. So we'll put that right there. And I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to show you. So we're going to take, see I'm working that this way. I want to make sure that that's attached from the bottom. And then I'll go back to the other side and work it like that. So now we have the ears. And then what I like to do is we're going to take the tin foil now. And I'm going to put this down on the table. And we're just going to kind of tap inside the ear like that. See I'm doing that? Tap inside the ear and around it. And I'll just, so you can see it has a nice texture. Whoop, it can have a nice texture. And then we'll do the same for the other side. I'm going to put this down on the table and do the same thing I did for the other one. So we take this, just take, see I'm tapping that? And then it's really coming along now. You can see we've developed the eyes, the nose, and the ears. And the next thing that we want to do are the horns. And I'll show you this. These are the horns right here. We want to make those. So I'll show you how we'll do that. The easiest way to do that is we can take these balls of clay here. We'll roll them on the table a little bit like this. We want to get them started, and then I'll do like this. So now that I got it started, I can take this and start to develop that point. See how I'm going all the way around it like this? Just keep working it. Just like that. There we go. See that now? So I developed a nice point. See the tip of that now? And you want to put a little curvature in it like that. And then what I want to do is I want to create the other horn. And we'll do the same thing. So you take this, go around to create that point. See I'm working both sides? Just like that. Work from both sides. And then what I want to do is just go all the way around, kind of shape it. Just like that. And I think I want to see if these are approximately the same size, which they are. And now what we're going to do is we're going to attach these to the side of the head. So I'll show you. We want to attach that right about here. See I'm putting that there? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the toothpick and work that horn. See how I'm doing this? You want to go around and work it into the head. So now we come to the front part. We're doing the same thing. And then the underneath on this side. And we'll proceed to do the other horn in the same manner. I want to make sure I put it in approximately the same location. I'm just going to work that. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did before. See how we take this toothpick and we want to work that in like that? And then I'm going to go from the bottom, then from the top, and then what I'm going to do from the very back. Just work it in like that. So now I'm going to look at it from the front like this. So now, and don't worry about the proportions. If they're a little off, that's okay. But that's your bison head. So now what I want to do is, you probably want to touch it up now. So what I would do is just take this here, the tin foil again, and just touch up some of those areas that we kind of were touching and may have ruined. See that? And I'm going to do it from the other side. And now the bison head is ready to be fired in the oven. And now that we fired the American bison head in the oven, it is now ready for painting. I will show you the types of paints that we will use. These are acrylic paints, which can be bought in the art store. There's about 18 in this package. And we're going to be just using a few colors tonight. We're going to be using brown. We'll be using tan. We'll be using black. And yeah, just those three colors tonight. I try to keep it simple. The first thing that we're going to do is I'll show you, I got a nice new brush for the eyes now. You can see this got an extremely fine point. Just going to be using that for the eyes. I keep this plastic thing over it to protect it, keep it going in the right direction. And then I'll be using this size brush here for the brown part of the head. And then I'll take a couple of these smaller brushes here for doing like the horns and the nose. So what we'll do is, the first thing I want to do is I want to do the eye. Now pick this up, and we want to get right in there. See that? And then we'll move to the other side and right in there. Like that. See that? Looks nice. So the next thing that I want to do is I'll show you, we're going to paint the eye here. See this part of the eye? I want to paint right here. Just right in there like that. And we'll do the other side. Just touch it ever so slightly. Do that. I'm going to come back in here and do a little more on this one. So you just kind of do that. See how that looks? Looks a little better. And then the next thing that I want to do is we'll stick with the tan, is we're going to paint the nose. Just like that. See how I'm doing that? And then we'll paint this side. And then we're going to paint the mouth area right here. See how I did that? On both sides. And now I also want to paint the horns up here. See that? just like that. And then I'm going to flip it around. See that? We want to get the other side. Then we want to get this area up here. And we'll do the other horn. See that? Just go back and forth. See how we're doing that? Just like that. Now I'm going to flip it over. We're going to do it for the other side. See how we're doing that? It's going to go back and forth. Just like that. Then I want to, just like that. And I'm just going to double check this, make sure I didn't miss any spots. See how that looks? It's starting to come along really nicely. Get the brown. So now we're going to paint. So I'm going to paint this ear first. See this? Just like that. See how I'm painting that? And then we'll paint the side. And then you get behind it and you can paint. I want to paint the other side. We'll do the other ear in the same manner. See this? See I'm doing that? And then put it to the side, get the bottom, and then we'll flip it around and do this side. That way. And then you just want to paint the rest of the face in that manner. See how we're going to go up and down, just like that. Just like that. See how we're doing that? See I'm doing that? And then you can paint this side here. Just like that. So we want to paint the entire face in that manner. And we also want to paint up here. I'll just, you have the idea now. And then you paint up around the eyes. See that? And you're going to paint the entire head this color. And I'll show you what the final version will look like. When you paint the final version, you can see how we had the tan for the nose and the mouth, the tan in the eyes here. See, it's got that tan color with the black, the tan horns, and then the rest of the face, you can see we painted this the brown color. And that's what your final version of the American Bison Head should look like. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations of Clay, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now. Thank you.